Well, there, I think it's now working. Maybe. Oh, maybe. You have to lose signal by closing the shop door. Oh, it doesn't look like it, at least for the time being. There we go. Built a big, huge metal building, and the internet reception is terrible. So you guys are standing on top of the station wagon at the moment. I'm sitting on top of the station wagon. All right, what's everybody up to tonight? Oh, I'm gonna have to get a Wi-Fi booster. Oh, so as you guys can see, we are in our new shop. Oh, lose internet? Hopefully not. Looks like we might have though. Well, there we go. Now we're back. Maybe. Well, this is aggravating. Oh, all right. Well, I got a text that says it is working, so it must be just my phone. All right. So anyway, they're in our new shop. That's what we've been doing for months and months and months. At least that's what it feels like. And yeah, this is kind of the first intro to the whole experience. So lighting is not quite where I want it yet. Some temporary lighting. It's kind of dark in here, at least for my opinion. But it's coming along. All right, so this winter, now that all the toys are under one barn, we're pretty much going to be finishing. We got finished station wagon. Um, Super Coop's been plagued with problems. The last few races, we thought we had it figured out, and unfortunately, that's not been the case. So I actually did find the other issues with it. The mullet's fine as usual, and then we did bring our 77 in the garage, which is way over there, and then 43 and the 80. The other 43s are not here, so they're on the other building. But for the main focus of this winter is going to be getting this one tore apart where it needs to be and getting the Blue 43 where it needs to be also so the wife can actually autocross that. So there's a lot of work to do this winter. Station wagon just needs a couple things. Super Coop's going to be a pain in my butt because he's been a pain in my butt all year. He got new stripes this year, so he thinks he's high society. But yeah, so oh, thanks, John. It's getting there. It's a little echoey at the moment. I'm hoping that the new getting some spray foam insulation on the walls will help a lot. But that's kind of why we've been stepping back from the whole YouTube thing and pretty much cars in general was just trying to get this new workspace up and going. And we still got to build a loft and put lifts in, and there's still so much to do. So much to do, but we're getting there. We're getting there ever so slowly. It seems like I did pretty much the whole building by myself. And when you're only one person and you work a daytime job, it takes a long time by yourself. And it's a lot bigger than what's actually on that screen. So, oh, let's see. Doug, what's up? Henry just picked up an Aspen R2 last night, field fresh, still sitting on the trailer and not washed. Cool. Very cool. I love seeing new cars that I haven't seen before. Kind of got a memory for cars. There's not that many Aspens Velaris in the world, and there's a lot of them that circulate owners, and they tend to stick out in my mind. I don't know why, but just not being that many left. But, oh, yes, by myself, unfortunately. You know how it goes when you help everyone from over the years and help them build their buildings or build everything they need to build, and then go to call them that favor, and yep, can't get hardly any of them to ever show up. So got tired of waiting on people, so I said piss on it and just did the whole thing pretty much myself. So with my work schedule, it's hard to line up help anyways, so got to go with availability, and I know when I'm available. So, but it's not bad. It's actually a full frame, all steel building. Something different. I wanted to try out. It's a little bit cheaper than a pole building, and so far I'm a decent fan of it. It went together pretty well. Kind of like Legos. It went together pretty darn well. But yeah, I was hoping to put you guys over on the toolbox, and then we were going to keep working tonight. But apparently, if you drive away from the door, then it kills all the reception, which is fine for me because I was hoping once it's all spray foamed and everything to not have any cell phone reception in this building. So that way I can't be called or texted or distracted because I got a bad problem getting distracted. So, but yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. The company we went with, you can add on to it in all ways, forms, and fashions. So we're gonna add on to the front and add on to the back and side, and yeah. So, but yeah, we just did a little. Didn't want to stick around too long tonight. Just wanted to do a little bit. Try and make it look like I hadn't disappeared entirely. Somewhat have, but it's still a little bit loud in here for my taste. But I haven't finished the softer facial, so I'm still getting a little bit of road noise. So I'm hoping to get past that. Well, Dale, it is 60 here. It's not warm enough. Not warm enough to go without a hoodie. Oh, but you can kind of see it. I did a different color for my epoxy on my floors. I wanted something bright and different, so I did like blood red, because the outside of the building is red and gray, and I wanted something different. I wanted something that sticked out, and I think it sticks out relatively well. It doesn't really flow with many of the cars, but the lighting's not bad. It's getting there. I gotta put. Tried out these UFO lights. I put one of those in here, and I was actually really surprised with those. So I'm gonna replace all these regular ballast LEDs and just do these UFO floodlights, so I can run half as many, and they run less wattage, and you get more lumens. So supposedly going to be a little bit more energy efficient. But we'll see. And they're floodlights. So they actually get a lot more. But I want to switch um, the regular ballast lights and put those in the walls because I want to be able to light up both my walls. So there never seems to be enough lighting on the side whenever you work on something, at least in my experience. But yeah, that's, as you can see, we've not really gotten much further on the 1980 Volare besides stripping it down and getting the motor transmission out and everything like that. But this one's pretty much, you got what you paid for. And this one, everything's really clean. Haven't found pretty much anything for rust, and everything came apart really nice. Trying to use it as mainly a sheet metal donor or the Blue 43. That was the whole inspiration behind it, because that one does have some structural issues, being from Connecticut and living on the East Coast for all of its life. But that should give us all the bits and pieces that we really need to do that. So, oh, 60 and temp dropping. Yeah, well, hopefully it stays a little bit warmer in here. I only plan on being out here for like another hour or so tonight. Want to get some more done. Getting the 43 tore apart, and it was too warm to go inside right away and be lazy. So, oh, what's everybody else up to tonight besides listening to me yak? Oh, let's see here. Oh, yeah. We did finish putting a whole NOS nose on the station wagon, so the wife's been happy with that. Now she just do I have any Volare Roadrunners? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I got, there's one out front actually. And I'm waiting for a big, tall fella to come pick it up. It's 1980, so it's the rarest of the Roadrunners. But it wasn't really, wasn't my flavor. They needed to find a different home besides me. And but that's tale for another time. We'll do a little segment on getting that car out of here and gone. I think the new owner wants it actually to run and drive on his trailer, so we'll have to go through that whole ordeal. But as far as future cars for me, I'm pretty content with what I have at the moment. I'm sure that'll probably change, but I want to keep my initial 6, and any more that come off from that are either going to be flipped, sold, or whatnot. You know, relatively, I mean, you really can only maintain so many vehicles and stay sane. So I'd like to have good, 6 good functional F bodies and just maintain those. That's a reasonable fleet. 3 for the wife, 3 for me. And I also got my pickup trucks and stuff like that. But those, I mean, they're all diesel, so they pretty much maintain themselves. Yeah, it's 77 Spitfires. I'd say they're real easy to. I don't know if they're easy to find, but I'd say you come across those ones the most. I actually seen a really nice. It was a 78 black Roadrunner the other day with a very beautiful Spectrum interior. Car's actually for sale. Body's questionable, but family's letting it go for about $2,000. If anybody needs a beautiful, beautiful Spectrum interior. The shell around it's decent, but it needs quarters just like any other late 70s car. But man, this is difficult being really far away from the laptop. I'm gonna have to get a Wi-Fi amplifier or something in here. That way I can work instead of just talking and staring at this thing. But yeah, going back to the Spitfires, I'd say that was probably the most common of the colors, but man, do they really have a nice shine to them. A friend of mine's got a really nice Super Pack 77, and then he's got a really bad 77 Super Pack T-top car, which I think he's trying to pawn off on somebody, but I can't remember. But yeah, the orange definitely sticks out. I like the rare ones. I like the colors you don't see every day, and that's why that 78 being black and being a Spectrum car. I mean, that one stands out in a crowd, especially being a Spectrum car. But yeah, so I don't know. What else? What other questions do we have? What other questions do we have for the day since we're not working while we're talking? That's what I was hoping to do, so I can talk and work at the same time instead of just talking. Brought more parts. Nice. I think the four doors are really starting to come into appreciation. I got a good friend of mine that's got what is it, 74 Dart or something like that he's trying to make into something fun. Slant six car. He's doing the best with what he's got, and it's turned out pretty nice. He's starting under the hood, so big block swap anything. Well, actually, the station wagon that you're sitting on right now actually has a big block in it. We went through that swap last winter, and the Slant 6 died 2 years ago, and we went through all the painstaking, headache of actually building a big block station wagon. And it's a 400. It's had some work done, but we actually got it all to fit under the hood. So it was a decent swap. We put headers on it. Wish we would have stuck with manifolds, but we're already past that point. The spark plugs are a pain to change on the passenger side. And personally, I would never probably do another big block swap again, unless it was like an all-out race car where you got rid of the fender aprons, because it's, even with the low deck, I mean, it's tight fit. It's just, after having 360 cars, I really don't think I'd do another big block swap. It's not for me. It may be for other people. It's cool saying you got a big block, and there's, probably not that many big block Valori station wagons in the world, but I just wouldn't do it again. Yeah, Sean, we do come across quite a lot of rare ones. Usually we end up bringing them home for some reason. I got into the F-body hobby quite a few years ago, before they were starting to catch on like they are now, and all the cars were cheap, parts were cheap, and I mean, there was still no aftermarket support, kind of like there is now, but I like the fact that you could go to a car show, take one there, and not have the same car as anyone else there. It's a lot of fun. Go bringing something and nobody else knows what it is, or they question if it's actually factory. I know we brought the Super Coupe to car shows before, and people have accused me of putting, fender flares on it, and why is the trim purple and all this other stuff. And it's kind of fun to show those guys that no, it's something actually Chrysler did. Let alone when we start bringing the Richard Petty editions to shows, I'm sure those guys will even be more confused. B-body headers, if you're referring to the big block swap, actually B-body headers are like picture perfect to fit on a big block and then go in an F-body. It's almost like they're built for it, and they fit amazingly well. I'd even compare them to almost like TTI at a small block. They clear everything. You don't have to mess with anything. They come out in the right places, and they fit well. I mean, we have a set of I think it's Hedmans on this one, and they fit wonderfully, absolutely wonderfully. We did go with a ball flange header and so that helped it a little bit more on the bottom side. But even just their standard flange, I don't think you'd have an issue, at least with the Hedman style, which usually Hedman and Hooker, they're pretty much same comparison wise. So lots of people have asked about my Novas over the years. When we moved from our old house, my neighbor came up to tell us goodbye, and he said, "Man, I'm going to miss seeing your Mustangs every day," which I really didn't understand until it was about a few weeks ago. I was at work, and I seen a car coming my way, and squinting and looking at it, and I thought somebody had stolen my Super Coupe for about 4 seconds until the car got closer. And it was a late 70s Mustang. But when you see it coming at you, man, I swore that was my car, and I thought we were going to go on a police chase for about 5 seconds. Gave me a small heart attack. But well, at least people asked about your Nova. I mean, usually the people that we get to stop, well, when some of the cars used to sit out front, and we get all sorts from derby guys to scrappers to all kinds of stuff. We get people stopping and asking questions. And some people were nice. Some people were. We had a nice man stop last year, and he bought a Plymouth Retrofetti edition, brand new, and he had never seen another one in real life besides his. He was in his 60s, and he talked my ear off for probably about an hour, and he was just so amazed. And he got his picture taken next to the car and everything, so he'd show his kids, and it was just a nice experience. You meet some nice random people that stop sometimes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this winter. We're gonna get a lot of important work done that I've been putting off, and I got some drop curtains so I can isolate everything. So I really am a body guy at heart. I like doing body work. I don't like doing paint work. I like doing body work. So I really want to get back into doing and taking care of the cars that I have and doing the body work that needs to be done. And I get a lot of joy out of that. I like welding, I like fabricating, and it's fun for me. It's a lot of fun for me. It's enjoyable. And I've accumulated enough sheet metal and parts through the years to redo quite a few of the cars. So we'll start with the blue 43, and then I'm going to work my way to the red 43, which the red 43 is going to be a lot of fun because I've accumulated enough sheet metal for that one to the point where the only thing original is actually going to be the roof. All the rest of the metal we're replacing. Uh-oh. Are we back? Maybe. There we go. Internet kicked out there for a minute. Joys of living in the middle of nowhere. There we go. I think we're back now. Sorry about that. All right. There we go. So, yeah, the Valari song. I've heard that one a time or two. Or how is your ass been? I've heard that one a lot. I would agree with that. I think the Aspen and Valaris are significantly rarer the Dusters or Darts, because the bad reputation that Askins and Valori's got right out of the gate in '76 really didn't help them. I think if they would have done the rust proofing they should have done, and should not rust production so much as they did, I think there would be a lot more appreciation for these cars than there is right now, because the simple fact that the older generation just remembers them as rotting out on sitting on the dealership lots, especially in the Midwest. I mean, it's all the older generation wants to remember about those cars, or my wife had a slant six station wagon and it was anemic, and I've heard that one so many times. And it's funny because you hear all the same stories, and then I talk to a lot of guys from that live further down south and love their station wagons, and love their their sedans, and drove them all till the '90s when everything gave up on them. And it's different. Like when we did our Alabama trip, a lot of those guys they never seen an Aspen or Velar before, because the Darts and Dusters just hadn't rotted out yet. And you think we were bringing a Superbird. These guys had never seen a Super Coupe before, and it was an interesting experience to bring something these guys had never actually seen besides in magazine articles, when they were new with the dealership. Yeah, Aspen being a Durango. Yeah. I've gotten asked a few times why I don't own one of those. Oh, hopefully we didn't lose again. My wife's probably inside watching something that's killing the internet. All right, try that again. Looks like we got reception now. Are we good now? Oh, we'll see if we can move you. Turn the lights off. All right. Switched over to phone. Hold on, let me turn the light back on. There we go. All right. Now we're back. Sorry about that. The wife must have been doing something. But yeah, I don't know if AMD would ever even touch these cars with a 3-foot pole. Unfortunately, there's just not enough market out there, and I think it would be a hard sell for them to even make floor pans, because you got to think of the production numbers for the RTs and the Roadrunners being so relatively low that as compared to 68 Chargers and stuff like that. But yeah, it might be just, is it lagging on the? Yeah. All right. I think we're going to have an internet issues. There we go. All right. Anyways, where we were at in conversations. As far as parts, I think this hobby's all in. It's all in who you know. Unfortunately, quarter panels you're going to probably need to source from another car. NOS is getting hard to find. There was the Canadian quarters that were out for a while in the 90s, and they're a lot flatter than they're supposed to be. My 77 actually has Canadian quarters, so if you go to put like the Super Pack fender flares on them, they don't fit the way they're supposed to, especially the aftermarket ones that are fiberglass. You got to do a lot of work to make those work, unfortunately. But it's kind of a timed hunt as far as parts goes. It's good having several parts cars. I am lucky in my area. I have a very good junkyard that I've picked through over the years, and it helped restore a lot of my cars just in the small bits and bobs. Not a lot of sheet metal, but a lot of the interior parts that are hard to find. 79 Volare Duster, that's pretty cool. But yeah. Yeah, that's we just wanted to do a little impromptu live tonight. We probably weren't going to stick on too long. Yeah, I'm gonna gotta get inside and spend some time with the wife at some point tonight. But yeah, just mainly want to show you guys a new shop and what to look forward to this winter. And we gotta get a Wi-Fi amplifier if we're gonna keep doing stuff like this, because I want to make I made a special table and everything so that we can do like Saturday morning chop times and stuff like that. That's really wanted to. I know Ruben was spear hunting that for a while, and I kind of like the idea of it. Just throwing a live up and just doing a bunch of wrenching, and I do a bunch of wrenching anyways. So, well, that's a good deal. 2 wagons and a 2-door for $900. If the wagons have good rear interior quarter panel trim, like the big, huge ones, if those aren't all scratched to heck, those are worth a lot of money to the right people. I know I've been hit up quite a few times, people looking for those, and it's they're hard to find. Just like with all of our interior plastic trim, they didn't last, especially being a wagon. Wagons got used and groceries thrown at them, or used as a contractor car. That was a favorite up in our neck of woods, was Volare wagons used as contractor cars for some reason. There is one in our station wagon, or our one station wagon in our local junkyard that was used by a drywaller. And man, there is mud and dust and dirt all over that car. And the whole car is rotted out. I think the whole interior is held together with drywall dust. But, well, all right, guys, I'm going to kick out of here and go see what the wife's doing. And so, just a little impromptu live. Sorry for the bad internet reception. It was not planned. Usually we have decent reception here, at least enough to play Pandora. So, but appreciate you guys tuning in. See you in the next one.